Oh, y'all want another video?
Hey everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants here for another installment of Matthew's Rants, Raves, and Reviews. Thanks for tuning in here. I apologize over the weekend. So much shit happened. Married to Medicine will have an episode posted, well actually Wednesday, because Tuesday I'm still gonna do Dragula. So Wednesday, be on the lookout for that. I'll do an actual episode 1, 2 of Married to Medicine, then catch back up on Fridays, okay? Let us get into Housewives of Atlanta episode 2. To be honest, this episode was not as we hoped it would be. And rumors are that this season is not gonna live up to what it's supposed to, but you know, I'm tired of hearing rumors and all that stupid shit. I just wanna watch the show for myself and see what happens, right? So, I gotta say, I'm glad we got the taglines for all the ladies. The first episode didn't do that, it just jumped us into the episode. And I like Nene's, I like Sheree's, it's so messy. Kandi's is cool. I think, yeah, Cynthia's with the cheekbones is great. Porsha's was really like, you know, it was like, girl, clearly you're gonna be with your family this weekend because nobody wants to film with you. And Kenya's was, I married, boop, boop, boop. You know, it's that type of tease. So yeah, they have good taglines this season. I'm okay with it. Tell me what you thought of the taglines and who's your favorite. But let's go ahead and jump on into the show. Now again, I'm going to be skimming through this. So if I miss something that you want to talk about, get in the comment section, say what it is. Let's start a discussion there, okay? Cynthia's house, I gushed over last time. I said how much I liked it. That bathtub though, I love a bathtub like that, baby. We're gonna get into that date in just a second. Now we're gonna shift over to Porsha. So Porsha's sister has now moved into the house because she's having the baby, and it makes more sense because her house I don't know what the issue was with her house or where she was at, but you know, Porsha's got all that space by herself. And it makes sense that her sister's moving in, but I'm like, it's like almost like a sitcom. Like, oh, sister's moving in, and they're about to start their own little show. It's not gonna happen. But I said, okay, you know, next, like, I need something interesting. Let's keep going here. Now, Porsha was talking to her sister about her and Kandi being in a good place, but for the first episode, that didn't seem that way. And then later on in this episode, I feel like this girl's delusional because Kandi really, it feels like Kandi hates her. Now, when Porsha comes up and tries to do like these hugs or these cute little things and Kandi's like, oh, or all that type of stuff, I'm like, Kandi, that could have been your time to like be that bitch, but I realize you're just trying to be nice and you're not trying to make it so obvious or crazy that everybody needs to stop what they're doing and turn the attention to you and Porsha's drama. I totally get it, but it's cringeworthy to see Porsha walk up to Kandi and Kandi to give her like dust, like just horrible, horrible. So Porsha's delusional about her relationship with Kandi. Her sister's moving in. Porsha's storyline is filling out. All right, and I'm not a hater of Porsha either, for those wondering. I actually was a big fan of Porsha's, even through her dumb moments on the show. I just, after last season, going into this season, and how she acted on Dish Nation with certain things, I'm like, it's hard for me to really give a fuck about Porsha right now, so. But she's still beating beautiful, baby. That is never gonna be taken away. Now, let's see here. Okay, so then we shift on over to Cynthia, walking into this, I don't know, duplex studio loft situation with this bomb tangerine dress, hair is right and all that. I said, oh, she's about to go to a photo shoot, which is what I was getting. But then when she's like, this is a date, I'm thinking to myself, oh, she's trying to hurt all the girls' feelings where they're going. So she goes up the stairs to be greeted by a reincarnation of Eddie Murphy's character from the movie Norbit. All right. Now, hear me out on this, y'all. Looks are not everything, and a lot of people don't necessarily have to look good in order to be the greatest person for you. So I'm not going to always be like, he has to be fine in order for it to be just all that. the fact that Cynthia addressed that he gave you Norbit with a little bit of swag was so funny to me. And I already knew from her just saying that, oh, this is not going to be a I see him later type of thing. This is a, we filmed this, I thought it was cute, but I'm really catching you in the light and it's not really working for me. And on top of that, girl, when she said, how old are you? They said you were 31 or 32, but you're really, oh, I'm 29. Cynthia's 50. Age is just a number. We all say that. But you have to think about where you're at in life and if you can deal with somebody who is a lot younger than you or a lot older than you. Okay? Some people have lived. Some people are still living. Child. I couldn't take the dude seriously. I'm sorry. I just kept staring at him going, but it was sweet what he did for her, though. That little date was cute, how it was set up in the studio. Clearly, that studio isn't for anything sexy or romantic, and it's not decorated. It's just a table and such, but it was nice what he did for Cynthia. I thought it was cute for her. So, yay, Cynthia back in the dating pool, but no more Norbits, okay? That man made Peter look like Adonis. Please don't. No more of them, okay? Now, let's go ahead and switch on over to Sheree. When Sheree walked into her life coach's office, I was distracted by that top. Nothing wrong with it. It just gave me, you know, I need a soldier. I felt like I was going back to Destiny's Child, you know, Destiny Fulfilled days with that one. I was like, girl, that is, no. But Sheree looks really good. And I like me some Sheree. But her confessional looks have really distracted me. She looks great in this bun, even with this, you know, super white armored Duracell battery shirt she got going on here. But then we get to a confessional look with this Hobby Lobby storm wig that looked the fool, girl. It looks the fool. And I don't know if maybe the lighting with it is what's fucking it up because of the contrast of colors from the top that she's wearing with that wig, but even how it's frayed out, it just goes, I don't like it. And then the second look, she has her hair medium length here with this bun that sits like this, you know, like it's about to eat something. I'm confused. I'm thinking to myself, this is just, okay, we had to get this going. I need to put this wig on. This is cute. Okay, let's go ahead and rock on in. I hope so, Sheree, because you're too beautiful for those two looks. I'm sorry. I can't take the confessional look. I have to fast forward or I pause and giggle. So I don't like that for her. And I like Sheree. So I'm like, we got to fix that. But she talks to the receptionist before she speaks to the life coach. Did y'all catch him slightly giggle silently? Maybe I'm overthinking it. I took him as giggly. Because he turned around like this and it wasn't like he went or anything, but it was his face like... I don't know if he was giggly. Maybe he just was excited the camera was focused on him. Either way, I found it hilarious. I giggled. I said, girl, I think he giggled at her. But Sheree walked in. She wanted to talk to her life coach about explaining to her children the verbal, mental abuse, and later, as she said in the show, sometimes physical abuse that she received from Bob. And what is the best way to go about it? Because, of course, you know, when your kids love their when your kids love their dad, it's hard to explain to them sometimes what happened when so much time has gone past to where you never discussed about the situation that was taking place in your home when they were there or not, or however it happened. And it then becomes, well, why are you telling me this now? And who do I believe? And should I hate my dad? Or should, you know, what's going on? It turns into that craziness. And they start to question what happened with you. So Sheree asking for that, that's a big deal. And I respect that. I'm going to skim through and skip a couple things to go to a part still on Sheree here because I want to go to some other things. Now, when she went to Kandi's house, y'all, I'm sorry, Kandi's guest house. I said, okay, Kandi, I see you, girl. We doing things in the guest house. The regular house, no, that's my family. Okay, guest house, y'all can come through. Sheree invites 3 of her friends. And Sheree invites 3 of her friends to meet at Kandi's house to have that discussion. It was just the oddest mixture of besties I've ever seen. The guy looked familiar, not from my going out to Atlanta and club shit, but he looked familiar in a sense to where I believe I've seen him on this show before, or maybe in the background of another show, but I was like, I've seen him before. With that, all right. The second one, or the two women who were with her, one gave me, Ayana, don't fix it, and the other one, I was like, I could pick them apart, y'all, and that wouldn't do anything for it. That's just me being petty and silly and whatever, okay? I'm sure they're great people. I'm sure they are. Like, who am I to judge? It just was a weird mixture of Sheree. We know Sheree, okay, Miss, you know, did you see my chateau? Bone carrier girl throwing them femurs. To this one, and that one, and that one, I just didn't get it. I was like, okay, but that's her friends, go for it. Kandi looked good, though, when they were doing the whole role-playing scene. I caught her makeup. I was like, okay, Can, I see you. You got dressed for this. Cool, we love it. But I just found that it was the oddest thing. It was Sheree came over with some chicken salad and some juice. And, I'm sorry, chicken salad and wine. And invited these 3 random people to Kandi's guest house. And they had a role-playing session on how she should speak to her children. That was a little weird for me, but if that helps Sheree talk to her children and get what she needs to get out to heal and to, you know, have that moment, have it. But, yeah. So let's get to Kenya. How do I feel about Kenya? Okay. If you know me, and those are my friends who are watching this right now, you're going to go, oh, Matthew's about to read Kenya. No, I am not. I was not a fan of Kenya's the moment she stepped on. I will fully admit that. Am I a fan now? I'm not a super fan, but I have eased on down that road, okay? There are 2 things about tonight's episode, or I should say last night's episode, about Kenya that I want to go over to where I can say I understand where she's coming from. And then one thing that I'm like, girl, cut it, okay? 2, here's the 1. Now, think about it, y'all. Kenya's storyline, like I said, the last Ransom review, has been about her getting married, being in a relationship, and that finding her happiness, okay? The one from the 2 that I'm saying is, I'm happy that Kenya addressed, I had to get myself together first before I was able to accept this man into my life. Because remind yourself, y'all, Kenya's had some crazy moments on the show, okay? And she met the guy, as she said, prior to Chef Roble introduced them at his restaurant. And the guy has a lot of good things going for themselves. But they didn't start actually dating or doing anything until later because, like Kenya said, I had to work on some things. Like, I saw it and I was like, that man is everything, but I need to rear this in. Kenya, I agree with you completely. I have done the same thing for myself. Over the past several months, I have done this whole let's look at Matthew type of bit and figure it out and what do you want and how can you treat someone in a relationship. I totally get it, girl. So bravo to you. A second part of that was, I mean, come on, think about it, people. The guy wants to be private, okay? She accepted that from him. They're in love. If he does not want to be on the show, she has to accept that, and she has to respect it. Bravo got to do the same thing too. If y'all don't like it, she doesn't need to be on the show. On top of that, for Kenya, I'm looking at her like, do you still need to be on the show? No, forget their feelings. Do you still need to be on the show? You got what you wanted. You're good. You don't need this check. You never needed the check, from what everyone tells me. She never needed this check. And he's good to go. So y'all are now in a shared reunion. Do you need this show still? I don't know, but I like me some Kenya to a certain extent. Now, when we get to her parading her wedding dress around for King and Twirl, girl, them dogs don't really feel all of that energy. They're just happy to see you smiling and that you're twirling fabric around, Miss Thing. That was so forced and I couldn't take it. This is what I got married in. It just so happened Mark called. I was like, oh my God, this setup is so fagoozy fake. I hated it. I hated that setup. I was like, ugh, girl, that did not happen. But okay, Kenya, I see you, bitch. You know, I think her and Cynthia being cool, of course, is that's been going on for a minute. But I love how Cynthia was like, it's funny how I'm single, and I thought Kenya was going to be my, like, ace in the hole when it comes to dating, and now she's married, and I'm stuck out here with a fucking lake. I said, come on, Cynthia. But yeah, go ahead, Kenya. Do what you do. The extra shit, I mean, that's you, girl, but I felt some real stuff from you today. Now, the crying bit to the producer's part, that was interesting. It was like she wanted to tell us what the tea was, but she didn't want to directly tell us. She wanted to, like, talk to the producers about it with the mic still on so we could hear what it is. So we feel like she's talking to us about it, but in reality, she's talking to the production crew. Like, I can't, this is so stressful. And I'm just like, girl, this is what you signed up for, baby. So go ahead, Kenya. Same time, bring it in, whatever. I like me some Kenya. Kandi meets up with Shamea, who I still don't understand why Shamea doesn't have a peach. Maybe this is because after she's married to the man now, but she doesn't need to be on the show now because she got what everything is worked out and there's no need for any attention because the attention is all you want with the man that you have. I get it. But I felt Shamea should have had a peach. Tell me if you agree down below comments. Kandi meets up with Shamea at this African garment shop to go over, basically tribal garment wear and African, like, dashikis, anything like that, for the wedding that is in Africa. So Kandi is going, but Porsha's not going, and Porsha is Shamea's best friend. Shamea feels some type of way about that. They don't understand why she can't go. They're saying it has something to do with the flight and that she can't sit and coach because she needs her legs elevated. And that first class was too expensive, and maybe it was last minute getting the ticket. Which I would say, as a best friend, if my best friend was telling me they're getting married, I'm like the first person with a ticket, okay? Not the second, not the third, not the fourth, not the fifth, the first person. Third, or second, I don't even know what order I'm going. I'm just listing off shit. When Kandi brought up she only paid $5,000 for her ticket, and Porsche was talking about it was $10,000, I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe Kandi got hers early, or she has a good connect at the airport. Either way, Porsha, it could have happened. You could have made it happen. So I felt for Shamea, especially after last season with the whole Phaedra and that mess that was going on. Like, you're still trying to give your girl the benefit of the doubt, but it feels more like Porsha's the problem, not Shamea. Do y'all feel where I'm coming from on that? Okay. If not, tell me your opinion on it. I want to hear where you're coming from, where you feel that maybe Porsha's not wrong here and Shamea's wrong. But I think, to me, I'm like, Porsche girl, that's your bitch. You gotta be with, that's your, come on now. That's your, you roll with this one. So, I don't know. I don't even know if they're gonna work that out. We're at Shamea's bridal shower. I think that's the bridal shower, right? That's the bridal shower. Shamea looks good. Kandi looked good. Sheree looked good. Porsha looked good. Everybody looked good. Y'all look good. All right, the girls came out. Now, when Porsha came up to Kandi to do that, like, it wasn't even a hug. It was, I grabbed your chair and then started talking like this type of bit. Like, hey, girl, blah, blah, blah. That was weird. I was with Kandi on that one. Like, forced, fake, can't do it. Now, when they sit down at the table, I mean, they play some games first, y'all. I'm not really going to go into it. The whole putting the wiener in the cup hole thing, that was silly. Sheree renting that and then pulling it in and out. I was like, I was saying, now, hold on, sis. Like, we didn't need that graphic special. That Dixie cup looked like it was worn enough, honey. But when they sat down and everybody's at the table, Shamea joins them, and it's basically the girls. And you have Porsha, Porsha's sister. You have Sheree, and then you have Kandi, and then you have Kandi's assistant, Carmen, who we all know Carmen. We have seen Carmen through the entirety of this show. The girl may be in the background, but she reads up close. This thing. She reads for the filth. Like, Miss Thing be sitting there, no camera there at all. Then it pans over and she's ready to go. I have nothing against Carmen. Kandi, that's your girl. I didn't like her that one season, though. It felt like there was a lot of attacks on certain people, but then we found out that later on that Phaedra and Porsha were liars, so now I feel some different way about Carmen. But anywho, Carmen is reading the piss bucket boots out of Porsha the entire time Porsha and Shamea are having their discussion. Shamea already had a traditional wedding. I believe that's what they said. like a tribal wedding, and Porsha did attend, and Shamea thought that was surprising, where Porsha found offense to that because of why? Why should you be offended by that, Porsha? It sounds pretty legit. Y'all haven't talked in a long time. You showing up to do something like that, that's pretty crazy. Shamea feels like we haven't seen each other in a long time, girl. So yeah, it was weird that you showed up like that. And now that my wedding is really happening, like a real wedding, like the official wedding, I would love to have you there. You're in the wedding. So you can't come because the tickets are too high because of your medical condition from you fainting at the nail shop because you need to have your feet elevated? And you couldn't have gotten the ticket beforehand or talked to me or figured out some kind of way to get a lower price ticket? All right. Shamea's case. Porsha. I showed up to the first event. I showed up here. I think I've done a lot already as a friend to show support. You see how it's a friend and not like a best friend? All right. So Porsha feels like Shamea is taking this too far and that she's done enough already. But what makes it even crazier than that, y'all, is that it's really not about Shamea being upset over her not coming to the wedding. It's really about Kandi at this table with Carmen reading the fucking shit out of y'all. Reading you, girl. Like, they're laughing at everything you're saying. I said, this is a mess. Kandi, come on, sis. This comes off bully-ish. But then again, it comes off like, girl, we're at the table and you hear nothing but shit falling from the bull. So you can't do nothing but laugh and shake your head at stuff like that. It's the same excuse after same excuse. So really, Porsha was pressed that Kandi's at this table, Carmen at the table. I know she heard him. I mean, they're right there. Reading the fuck out of her. Porsha wasn't feeling it. Already uncomfortable and started taking the victim route. Like, why would you say that? Wow, that wasn't nice. Da, 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 da. I love when Porsha does that victim shit. I go, girl, stop. Like, let us remind ourselves that you're actually a linebacker and you know how to handle somebody and bring them down, sis. So here, they're all like, okay, it's time to go. Kandi doesn't stay for nothing. Kandi's in her car, bounce. You know what I'm saying? Sheree may be one of the last people to walk out, but there is Porsha and Shamea in the car having an argument about everything. And y'all, here's where the issue happened for me. This is where it all became Shamea's right, Porsha's wrong.
Porsha, you have to understand my position too, though. I'm not trying to understand it no more because I don't.
All right. Okay, so they've gotten to the car. The fight has started, right? Okay, this is where Porsha fell off the map and where I'm always with two people in an argument until one person says something that does not continue with the conversation and now has turned into it's about me and all this other shit. The moment Porsha said, I'm not trying to understand you anymore, I lost it all for her. I said, girl, bye, off the show. For her not to understand Shamea's position at Shamea's bridal shower, Shamea's event, that's her thing. That's her gig. You don't need to have a complaint of you saying you're uncomfortable about something that has really nothing to do with you altogether. They're not having this event because of you, Porsha. It's for Shamea. Okay? The fact that you brought up Kandi in that argument, it's already awkward enough that I'm in front of, by Kandi. Like, as if, Shamea, you shouldn't have invited her. We're supposed to be best friends. Like, and me and her not cool. Why even have her? Like, it really felt childish. The whole thing. I'm here for you, Jillian, as a friend. You keep saying that you're shocked that I show up to your events. Really, girl? Like, okay. And when she said, I don't know how to understand or I can't feel for your situation, I said, fuck her. I would have said, fuck her. Like, you got me fucked up. This is my day, and you're trying to ruin it and turn this all about you, okay? Porsha's sister's like, we gotta go. I gotta go pick up my child. And they're out. And I gotta say, like, I don't feel for Porsha this season. Maybe something's gonna happen that's gonna change my mind. I hope so. I'm a fan of Bambi. I'm a fan of Bambi. That's what I'm gonna call Porsha from now on. That is the true girl that should be called Bambi down, okay? Doe bunny something. I don't know. Doe boy, doe girl, I don't know. And not like doe for, paper, but, the deer. Okay, anywho. What'd you think of last night's episode of Housewives of Atlanta? Whose team are you on? You know, what'd you think of the arguments? What do you think of the confessional looks? What happened on the episode? Also, did you catch the sneak peek of next week's episode, that little commercial that they showed? Interesting. Glad to have Nene back on. I honestly was a little bored that she wasn't on this last episode, but hey. All right, y'all. So like my shit, share my shit, subscribe, bring it to the channel. Remember, tomorrow it's going to be Dragula for those who are fans of the show. I believe this is episode 3, so we're going to be reviewing that. And again, Wednesday, I'm going to post an episode 1 and 2 of Married to Medicine. Now that I've seen the episodes, we need to talk. And I am Team Jackie all the way down. Team Dr. Jackie forever, okay? And after that, we'll catch back up again with episode 3, or I believe, yeah, episode 3 of Married to Medicine on Friday night, okay? So thanks again for tuning in, subscribing, loving, sharing, and posting. Y'all have a great rest of your week. Hey, it's Monday. Have a good week. Don't let anybody bother you, and you just make it through. Make it to Friday, y'all. Have a good one.